Hey, good morning everyone, and thank you so much for coming to this little demonstration that we've got here from the aviation team today. So this part of the building, we use this quite a lot to do training here for the aviation course. We do our customer service training here, we do our decompression training here, and it's a really, really practical element, and we really, really love having this. So today we're going to talk to you about some of the things that you don't normally see. I think most of you, if you've flown, will have been served some sort of tea or coffee or something like that. Most of you, hopefully, if you're a good passenger, will have watched the safety demonstration. So we're not going to show you all that today. We're going to show you the stuff that you may not see. Some of the other things that cabin crew are trained in that, that goes above and beyond what you'd normally expect.
Oh, my chest is hurting. I think she's having a heart attack.
Okay, pause right there. So what's going on here? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, a medical situation. Can anyone tell me? Okay, this one's a heart attack, so this is probably the most extreme that you could get on board the aircraft. Do you think it happens? Yes. Absolutely, yeah. I was involved when I was at my airline. You can take a seat, thank you. When I was at my airline, I was involved in delivering CPR to a passenger that had passed away, unfortunately, on the flight. And because of the skills that we had and because we were so quick, we managed to save his life. And that's what cabin crew are all about. But yeah, that's a really extreme one there. We had a heart attack. What else could happen medically on board an aircraft? There'd be such a huge range. Anaphylactic shock, yeah, excellent, well done. Someone could pass out. Very, very, very common. If you think about people sitting down in their seat for long periods of time, they might be dehydrated. They might have been on holiday, laying out in the sun for lots of time, and then all of a sudden they stand up, they feel faint, and they pass out. Absolutely. It's quite hot on board aircraft, just like it is here today. What else could go wrong medically?
Too much alcohol.
Too much alcohol, absolutely. We try to avoid that from happening, but you're right. Too much alcohol. We need to learn how to deal with that. Anything else? Someone could go into labour, yeah. So someone flies and they're pregnant, go into labour. Stroke, did you say? Someone, yeah, stroke. Yeah. Someone could have a stroke. We have to know how to deal with each of these situations. So it's really, really important that we are really, really well trained. We're very quick. We know where all of our equipment is. We know how to work as a team, and we save lives for people that are unwell up in the air.
Timothy, I am so sick of you stealing the armrest. It is clearly mine.
It's my armrest. Can't you see it?
Stop trying to ruin this trip.
It was ruined before it even started because of you.
All right, stop there before it turns into a fight. Okay, thank you so much. So what was going on there? Conflict, yeah, conflict. Is conflict something that happens on board the aircraft? Yeah, why do you think it happens? What happens?
People get frustrated.
Frustrated with what?
With just being in a small seat.
Being in a small seat. I saw another hand over there.
People are anxious, potentially flying.
Yeah, nervous or anxious flyers, yeah. What else could happen?
Being closed in.
Closed in, yeah, people don't like it. Absolutely. Anything else? Intoxication, yeah, so it's intoxication's coming up again, isn't it? People have had too much to drink, yes. And is that something that we want on board an aircraft? Absolutely not. Jess, how would you deal with a conflict on board an aircraft? So two people are fighting over their armrest. Like that was a common one, isn't it?
It is a pretty common one. Firstly, I would probably try and find out if they were travelling together or not. If they're not travelling together, if it was escalating, I would try and separate them, maybe sit someone in between them, or maybe split them up on the aircraft so that they can't keep arguing with each other. If they are travelling together, maybe have a chat and see if there's a third person that they may be travelling with and say, hey, what's going on today? A lot of conflicts that we have on board as well, it's never just as simple as the armrest. It might be their alarm didn't go off, the taxi came late, they've forgotten something important at home. Quite often it can be quite a few things at once, not just as simple as the armrest.
Absolutely.
If it was escalating further, if it did get physical, I would grab my cabin manager and other crew members as well, and potentially some ABPs just to try and help me out and break it up if it did get physical.
Okay, and when you say ABP, what does that mean?
An able-bodied passenger.
Able-bodied passengers, yeah. Some airlines, they actually do have restraint kits on board the aircraft, so there'll be a kit that you can use that contains handcuffs or ties that you can actually restrain a person to their seat. And we're trained in self-defense. So when you go to your individual airline, you'll be taught some techniques to really help if that situation did escalate it. Steve, our Virgin Australia cabin manager.
We actually had this last week.
Okay, excellent. Talk about it.
We had last week flying from Brisbane. I had a cabin crew member come to me and say we're having an issue down the back with the passenger. I've gone down to the passenger to speak to him, and he has then called me every name under the sun. And I stayed calm during the whole thing, and he actually started to get aggressive. And then passengers next to him, a female passenger started crying because she was quite scared of what was happening. So now we're having to now deal with this passenger who is intoxicated and becoming aggressive. And now I'm dealing with another passenger who's getting quite emotional and quite scared that's around her. So we're now, as cabin crew, having to work out what's priority. So this is where teamwork happens. And we grab other cabin crew to come and help us. But then he started to get even more aggressive and start to lunge at us. So I had to call the captain, and I had to explain to the captain what was happening and everything in there. We all stayed calm because that's what we're taught. And these guys will teach you the best way to stay calm. For me, the best way I stay calm is I start singing in my head. I start singing a song and I'm like, I'm staying calm, but I'm dealing with this. And then what I have to do is take the cabin crew down the back and say, okay, we're now 40,000 feet in the air. If this gets even worse, we now need to go to the next level. And we now need to look at handcuffing this passenger. How are we going to do it? So what we do is, as a team, we work out the strategy of how we're going to do it. What we're going to do, what's the procedure on what we need to do from there. And so I got them out because they were out in the cabin, and I got them out and they were ready to go, just in case it escalated. But then by the time we were talking with each other, trying to work it out, he'd fallen asleep. So we thought, we are not waking him up. Everyone, when you walk past him, you are to walk past him. And he was told, I said, do that and then walk past, but do not bump him, do not wake him up, or nothing. And so what I did is I offered those two passengers that were scared, that were next to him, that were sitting in the opposite aisle just here, I offered to move them to a few seats that we had closer to the front from there, and they were happy to do that. And so we moved them. If I didn't have enough room to move the passengers, what I would have done is there was a husband and wife, and the wife was the passenger that was scared. I would have then swapped them over and asked for the husband to sit on the aisle seat from there and taken care of that. And then I asked them what else they would like, just to calm them down and everything, and then we landed without incident. But I can tell you this much, I was so excited. I was lingering up in the galley like this, doing this, and my cabin crew are like, don't jinx it. Yeah. And I'm like, I live for this.
Excellent, thank you. So, yeah, we're having a flight from hell, really. We've got someone that's had a heart attack, we've got two passengers arguing, and then all of a sudden...
Excuse me, this flight has been way too long. I'm cramped in. The person in front of me's chair is in my chest. I can't eat. This is ridiculous.
Okay, thank you for that. So, what's going on?
The seat's too far back for her so she can't move.
Absolutely, the seat's too far back so she can't move. Do you think that happens a lot? Absolutely, every single flight you'll have to deal with that. Complaints, passenger complaints. Every single flight. What do you think a passenger might complain about? Everything. Come on, let's think of some examples. Food. The food not being up to scratch. Yeah, what else?
Not being able to have a drink.
Not being able to have a drink. So we're doing the right thing, and they really want an extra drink. The person next to them, yeah, they might have someone that's annoying them, someone that's taking up their space. What else? Legs are too long. They don't fit in the seat. Yeah, absolutely. They might want to be moved. They might want to be upgraded. Yeah. What else? There's a million different things.
In-flight entertainment not working.
Yeah, the in-flight entertainment not working. We have to know how to deal with every single one of these complaints, plus any complaints that we've never had before. And it's really, really, really odd, because when you fly with the general public, you'd be really surprised at what people find they want to complain about. So you have to be really well equipped to deal with complaints really effectively, really efficiently, and you have to be really equipped to think on your feet, which means dealing with things as they happen without having time to prepare. Okay, so continuing on with our flight from hell, where we've had a heart attack, we've had people arguing, we've had complaints. What else have we got? Hit me with it.
Oh my God, happy birthday, daughter. Oh, I feel so old. Oh my God, cheers.
Okay, so we've got those drunk, intoxicated passengers that we don't want to have on board the aircraft. Let's have one of our cabin crew team to give us some examples or some tips. Jess, come forward. Jess studied with us last semester, and she starts her Qantas ground school on the 29th with Robert over there. So yeah, we're very happy. So we've got passengers that are intoxicated and they want more drinks. What are you going to do?
Well, we have to suggest that they might need to start slowing down because they have had a number of drinks already. Give them some water and some food to try and help calm them down a little bit.
Yeah, what about if they start getting aggressive and start calling you names or start swearing at you?
You just got to keep cool and just keep on suggesting to them that now is not the time for another drink, and other people around them might be getting a bit annoyed by them, causing a bit of a ruckus. So
yeah, excellent. And what skill do you think you have to learn, when we start off really calm and then we might have to change our tone? Like, what sort of skills do you think you have to learn to effectively deal with that? How about Robert? Of course I can, yeah. So what skills do you think we have to learn in order to... we start off really polite and really calm with our passengers and they're getting aggressive towards us. So what do we have to become in order to deal with that passenger very, very quickly?
Assertive with them, you have to become firm with them.
Yeah.
If it's still escalating, then I'll talk to other crew members and then escalate to my cabin member if it gets even more out of hand.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, it's another skill that we have to learn so we can flip between being one person for 1 minute and then we have to quickly change to another person using a different tone, different language, changing our voice, changing the way we stand, etc., to make sure that the customer knows that we're now serious. Okay, thank you so much, thank you. All right, so this flight from hell is going to get even worse now. This is the last thing that we want to happen. We, unfortunately, have been told that our aircraft is going to make an emergency landing. Dreadful. We don't want that to happen, but we're trained in it. We're always trained in these emergencies. Even though it's a very, very slim chance that it may happen, we train to a very high standard anyway. So we're going to practice what we would do in the event of an emergency evacuation. So first of all, our pilot will always let us know that there is going to be an emergency. And we have a set way that we will let the cabin crew know what the emergency is and what our intention is, whether we're going to land at the nearest airport, whether we're going to land in the sea, we might be making an emergency landing in a forest, in a desert, but we'll be told. Once the aircraft reaches a certain altitude, the cabin crew all need to take their seat and we need to give some passengers some instructions to make sure that they are in the safest position possible for when the aircraft hits the ground. Does anyone know what that position is?
Bending over.
Yeah, absolutely. It's bending over. Does anyone else know what that's called? The brace position. Yeah, so from our seats, we need to tell the passengers to brace. In order to do that, we're going to say brace, brace, brace 3 times, and then we're going to say heads down, stay down. Well, you are going to say that, okay? So I'm going to count to 3, and what I want you to do is shout as loud as you can, brace, 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 heads down, stay down, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, that wasn't loud enough because normally the windows vibrate if it's loud enough, so I want you to be even louder. I want the windows to vibrate and I want the ceiling to lift, okay? This time, you're gonna repeat it 3 times. In real life, we would repeat it until the aircraft comes to a complete stop, but today we're gonna repeat it 3 times. So brace, 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 heads down, stay down, as loud and clearly as you can, 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Excellent, wonderful. My ears are ringing. That's a good sign. I love it when my ears ring. Okay, so we've shouted that to our passengers. So we've got them in a position where they're as safe as they can possibly be. The aircraft comes to a complete stop. What do we need to say to our passengers now? What instructions do you think?
Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind.
Yes, excellent. We need them to open their seatbelts, leave their seat, and the most important thing is to leave everything behind. Why do we want our passengers to leave all their luggage behind?
Blocks the aisles for people trying to get stuff out.
Absolutely, yeah. It can block the aisles and people are trying to get stuff out. If you try and take your things down the slide with you, you could pop the slide. All sorts of different things could happen which could delay the evacuation, and that's the last thing we want. So our next lot of commands that we're going to be shouting is open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind, okay? So let's do that all together, just the once. After 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
Open seatbelts! Get out! Leave everything behind!
How many times do you think you might need to shout that?
Until everyone's out.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so we don't stop shouting. At any stage during an evacuation, there should never be a moment of silence. There should always be an instruction to all of the passengers to get them out of the aircraft. The problem is, whilst we're shouting that, we're also doing other things ourselves. We are operating our aircraft door. We're looking outside to make sure it's safe to open the door. We are inflating the slide if it doesn't inflate automatically. We're making sure that if there's water outside, we might need to think about redirecting passengers to another exit. There could be smoke, there could be fire. So we're shouting this whilst doing other things. If you're not very good at doing 2 things at once, i.e. me, it can be really, really tricky. So it's really, really good to practice it. So what's the first lot of commands again? Let's go through that. So what are we initially telling our passengers to get them? Yeah, brace, 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 heads down, stay down. We're going to do that 3 times, followed by open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind. 3 times. We're just doing it 3 times today, okay? All together. 1, 2, 3, go.
Brace, brace, brace! Heads down, stay down!
Louder.
Brace, brace, brace! Heads down, stay down! Brace, brace, brace! Heads down, stay down! Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind! Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind! Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind!
Okay, brilliant. Ouch. Right, so it's a little bit confusing now because you're telling the passengers to leave everything behind and get out. So what will they start to do, do you think? Panic. They'll start to run to your door. You're opening the door and you have to wait for your slide to inflate. If your slide doesn't inflate and a passenger jumps out the door, they're going to really injure themselves or worse. So even though you've told them to run to your door and they're going to run to your door, you're going to turn around and you're going to aggressively shout to them, stand back, wait. Okay, and I want you to shout that as aggressively as you can to me, please. Stand back, wait. After 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
Stand back, wait!
Excellent. And you can do the hand action if you want as well. You can just give him a palm in the face. Okay, so we've got heads down, brace, 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 heads down, stay down. Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind. Stand back, wait. Once our slide has inflated and the door is ready to go, we are going to stand out of the way as much as possible and we're going to tell our passengers to stay on your feet and keep moving. They're jumping down the slide, they're going down very, very fast. What happens if a person gets to the top of the slide and they're too scared to go and they don't want to go? What are you going to do? Push them, yeah, push them down, push them out. We are here to save lives. We're here to save everybody. Okay, so what's that last one we're going to be shouting? Stay on your feet, keep moving. Okay, so let's put that all together now. So it is heads down, brace, 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 heads down, stay down, times 3. Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind, times 3. We're going to do stand back, wait, times 2. And then we'll do stay on your feet, keep moving, times 3. Everyone all right with that? Everyone okay? Let's do it. Let's put it all together. Go.
Brace, brace, brace.
Louder.
Head down, stay down. Brace, brace, brace. Head down, stay down. Brace, brace, brace. Head down, stay down.
Open seatbelts.
Get out, leave everything behind. Open seatbelts. Get out, leave everything behind. Open seatbelts. Get out, leave everything behind. Stand back, wait. Stand back, wait.
Stay on your feet, keep moving.
Stay on your feet, keep moving. Stay on your feet, keep moving.
Excellent. Well done. Okay. Whose voice is a little bit tired from that? A little bit? Yeah? It should be. It should be. And you have to do that. We've done it 3, 3, 2 and 3. In real life, you'll be shouting that as many times that's necessary in order to get every single person off of your aircraft safely. Once that's happened, what do you think we do? Can we jump off ourselves? No? What's the next stage? Check the aircraft. Yeah, we're going to check the aircraft. Make sure that if there's anybody left behind, that we can go and save their life as well. Once we've done that, we can then jump off the aircraft. And only then does our job really begin. You think it's all over? You think, oh, lovely, I've just finished, I've got everyone off safely. But now you've got first aid. And that's why we teach you aviation medicine and first aid in such a lot of detail. You might have lots of injured people. You might have to deliver CPR to people. You might have to make some life or death decisions on who to save first. And this job is all about decision making very quickly, even when there's a lot of chaos going on around you. All right, so we're just going to go back a step before we get off the aircraft. What about then if we are evacuating on water? There might be something different that we need to shout. Life jackets. Are you a cabin crew member already? You know a lot of stuff. This is great. Yeah, so we need to tell the passengers to inflate their life jackets. We don't let them inflate their life jackets until they're just about to jump off the aircraft. Why do you think that is? So they don't drown. Yeah, if the aircraft sinks and they've inflated their life jacket, they won't be able to swim down or swim under to get out of the aircraft. So we need to make it really, really clear to the passengers as they exit the aircraft, inflate your life jacket. And that would be another step that we'd have to remember, even when we're under pressure, to make sure that we're saving lives as much as possible. So we're going to do it just one more time. This time I want you to give it your absolute all. This is the last time that we're going to be doing it. We'll do an evacuation on land again. So brace, 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 heads down, stay down, times 3. Open seatbelts, get out, leave everything behind, times 3. Stand back, wait, times 2. Then stay on your feet, keep moving, times 3. Okay? As loud as we can. If I don't hear a complaint from the cookery department all the way over there, I think that you haven't shouted loud enough. All right? And action.
Brace, brace, brace.
You can do louder than that.
Down, stay down. Brace, brace, brace. Heads down, stay down. Brace, brace, brace. Heads down, stay down. Open seatbelts, get out. Leave everything behind. Open seatbelts, get out. Leave everything behind. Open seatbelts, get out. Leave everything behind. Stand back, wait. Stand back, wait. Stay on your feet. Keep moving.
Come on, don't stop now.
Keep moving. Stay on your feet. Keep moving.
Excellent. Well done. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. And just that small skill could save many, many lives. You get 90 seconds to evacuate an aircraft. It doesn't matter how big the aircraft is. You could have up to 800 passengers or 200 passengers. You still only get 90 seconds to evacuate everybody. So you have a really, really important role to play. Can I get my current students, please, to stand up just so I can give everyone a wave. Thank you so much for coming in on a Saturday. These guys have only been studying for 3 weeks, but if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much. We've got Jess here, a previous student who works at Jetstar. We've got Steve, previous student who's a cabin manager at Virgin. And we've got Robert and Jess, where's Jess? Over there, who start their ground school with Qantas on the 29th of August. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask any of our current team, previous team, please don't hesitate. But thank you for coming today. I hope we gave you a little bit of an insight into what goes on behind the scenes of being a cabin crew member. And enjoy the rest of your day. If you need any more information, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.